Hello, my Nollywood movie fans. Okay, all I have to say is our movie couple is back again. We saw them together in the movie Miracle, and now they've come together again, and I'm talking about the movie Ride or Die. And it's starring John Ekenam and Sarian Martin. So the movie opens up with Kendra, played by Sarian, and she's arriving late for her cleaning job. She gets to the house, and the house cook, Ijiro, is on her case about being late, and she basically tells her, well, you need to get to work. And as she begins, she notices a picture on the wall of the man of the house. This is Morgan, played by John. Kendra stops and is in shock, but when she gets upstairs, she realizes that she has met Morgan before. It so happens that Kendra was at a bar one night, and Morgan approached her to say hello. Now, Kendra was very rude to him, and she actually accuses him of being a small, poor boy trying to pick up a big, fine girl like her. So she tells him, "Get away from me." So now here she is in Morgan's house as his cleaner, and she is not happy about it. But you see, Morgan is not home, so she gets to come back the next day to make sure that he is the same guy. Well, she did return, and of course, it's the same guy. And Kendra is very embarrassed, but Morgan doesn't shame her. He just tells her, go inside and start working. Now, when Kendra gets back home, she tells her bestie that she has a dilemma because she needs this job. And she will apologize to Morgan if she gets the chance. So when she got back to work, she did apologize. And Morgan seemed to be actually very impressed by her. And he actually took the opportunity to let her know that she's very beautiful and sexy. Well, my people, that was enough to make Kendra decide she'll quit that job so as not to face Morgan again. But the problem is, she didn't tell Morgan. She just didn't show up. Now, moving forward, Kendra and her bestie are dressed to go out, and she still wishes that night with Morgan never happened. But you know what? Morgan can't say the same because he can't get Kendra off his mind so much that he's out at a club and he thought he saw Kendra. But of course, it wasn't her. But on his way home, he actually did see Kendra because she and her bestie were stranded on the road, and he picked them up and gave them a ride. Now, he dropped Kendra's bestie off, but he brought Kendra home with him. And he tells her that he's very aware of the type of lifestyle she leads, but could she please continue to work for him? He even offers her an increase in her salary if she stays the night with him. My people, the movie hasn't said it, but I'm getting the impression that Kendra goes with men in exchange for money, if you know what I mean. But anyway, so Kendra did stay the night with Morgan, but it was innocent. But guess what? The next morning, the cook, Ijiro, was very upset with Kendra. Now, Kendra left the house while Morgan was out, but he calls her to beg her to come back. But Kendra's bestie has other plans for them. She and Kendra will be going out on the town to a club to meet men. Well, they were at the club, and so was Morgan. And he actually was able to get Kendra to follow him home. And Ijiro was not happy because it's clear that she wants Morgan for herself. Kendra continues to fight against Morgan's efforts to let him into her life. But when Morgan offers to pay her to stay with him for the weekend, she says yes, thinking that Morgan wants her for sex. But he tells her, no, it's about her company, and she doesn't have to offer him sex. Meantime, Ijiro is all in Kendra's face, telling her, leave Morgan alone. But my people, There is one thing that Morgan will accept from Kendra, and that's a sexy dance. Now, when Morgan asks Ijiro to bring whiskey to the room for him and Kendra, Ijiro decides that she'll put on something sexy to see if it will get Morgan's attention. Well, my people, Morgan was not moved, and Kendra even stuck her tongue out at Ijiro. It's clear that Morgan has feelings for Kendra, so much that he even went to her house looking for her. But he didn't find her because you know what? She was back at his house in the shower waiting for him. So Morgan and Kendra spend most of the weekend getting to know each other, talking, and just enjoying each other's company. And that made Ijiro even more determined to get Morgan's attention. So she gets dressed in another skimpy outfit and goes to Morgan's bedroom. But the only thing that Morgan wanted from her was for her to get lunch for him and Kendra. My people, Ijiro even went as far as to visit the spirit doctor to get something to see if she could bewitch Morgan. But it didn't even work. Now, Kendra is very aware of what Ijiro is trying to do, so she rubs it in her face by really pouring on the affection to Morgan. Morgan and Kendra's relationship really blossomed over the weekend, and she was even introduced to his bestie. And when Morgan goes back to work, he begs Kendra not to leave, and it's clear that Morgan wants her there permanently. And the idea actually makes Kendra happy. Now, a problem does arise with Morgan, and he needs Kendra's help to get him out of it. And she does it. She even does it with no problem, even though it puts her in a bind. And that's when Morgan knew that Kendra was the one for him. And you know what? Kendra knew Morgan was for her because when her bestie started talking bad about Morgan, Kendra put her in her place. I loved this movie. It was just a beautiful love story. John Ekenam has such a great on-screen presence. And he and Sarian are one of my favorite on-screen super couples. Because, by the way, I like Sarian with Maurice Sam also. But, okay, this is not about Maurice. The movie offered lots of hope for love. And it also had some humor. I mean, my face was hurting from smiling so much. My people, go and watch this movie. You will enjoy it. I mean, you could watch it right here on YouTube at Peggy Ovier TV. So please hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share. Also, leave a comment, and if you have any requests, let me know. I'll review the movies for you. And remember, get your Nollywood on. Bye for now.